Well, it's been 2 weeks since I had drinks with the fam over at my sister's house, hanging out with my uncle and cousin, which means it's been a little over 90 days since I originally stopped drinking beer the way I was drinking beer before, every night, etc. So a couple days ago, I had a lady friend come over. We went to the pool and hung out. That was a little over a week after hanging out over at my sister's. And I decided it was a good time to indulge in a couple beverages. But it's still all good. I'll tell you, the real test there was that cigarettes in the pool while drinking used to be my shit, man. Let me tell you what, fucking loved doing that. But did not do it this time. All good now. I will say that smelling it, her being around me and me smelling it, I was kind of like, I remember that, but it's weird. I don't know how to describe it. I was trying to describe it to my brother-in-law, but it's different now that I smell it, and it's like, it used to be way back in the day, and I wasn't a smoker, the smell of it would just fucking really bother me. But now I'm, I don't know, 34, 35 days into not smoking cigarettes. Now when I smell it, it's kind of like, oh, that's an interesting scent, and it doesn't bother me so much. That being said, getting into a car where someone has smoked before, or probably going into a bar or something where there was a real smoky environment, I don't like that as much. I actually had a Lyft driver that I think clearly had just smoked a cigarette, and I was like, ugh. But nonetheless, that was a great test for me to pass because, like I said, for so long, that was my thing, smoking while drinking in the pool. So this time I had a little less than 5 IPAs versus when I hung out with my sister, I had, like I said, I think 8, 9, or 10 of them. I'm not certain, maybe 11. Nowhere near as many as I used to. When I used to go over, hang out over there, I'd fucking be 18, 19, 20 sometimes, easy. So anyhow, I only had a little less than 5 beers this time hanging out. It was another scenario where I was at a pool hanging out with someone I hadn't hung out with in a long time. I wasn't sitting in my house by myself just drinking to drink and disconnect. So that's still good. Now I will say the difference on this time versus hanging out at my sister's house was, I drank less than half of what I drank at my sister's, but it still put me in a funky mood the next day. And I didn't have the same energy levels. And even the day after, it's as if, they call it spirits for a reason, I guess, but the drinking made me less full of spirit for a couple days, just less full of zest. So considering that, I feel like it was probably too soon to indulge, but it was a rare scenario that whatever, it just happened. And most importantly, I'm not beating myself up for that because I know that I still have control versus used to not having any control. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take a longer break this time. I do have a friend that I think I'm hanging out with on Saturday, and there might be some beverages then, and maybe I'll indulge in one, but I'm not going to get I may not even do that. I don't know. I mean, I really do not like the day after, even just having one beer. I don't think I would like the way I feel the next day. I don't know. But in my book, that's all good because I want to be full of spirit. I want to be full of zest and full of love and full of energy going out. I'm going out on bike rides a couple times a day. I'm walking 10, 15,000 steps a day. I'm probably riding, 10 miles to 15 miles a day. Granted, I do have a pedal assist bike, but still I'm getting out there and doing it, In other news, I was wrong. I am not done with Coke Zeros yet, but I'm so close, man. I know it's happening real soon. And it could be argued that I just replaced one vice with another vice, but I'll tell you, considering how far I've come with the attachment to beer and weed and cigarettes, man, having some Coke Zeros a couple times a day, I think I'm going to be all right. But that being said, I'm going to be done with those things real soon. I know I am. So the overall recap is 2 nights drinking out of 90 days. It's pretty solid. Best numbers for being a while. No weed smoking in, I feel like we're at 44 or 45 days. And then no cigarettes in 34, 35 days, somewhere around that. I don't know the exact numbers on those. But still, pretty good stuff. But that's just a quick little update for you guys. If you happen to be on the Tik Tok, I know some of you guys don't get on there, and that's cool. But if you happen to be on there, I do upload videos there a lot more frequently because it's just easier. It's more of a short form content kind of thing. And I feel like it's more geared towards like me giving my insight and guidance on like how and why to, disconnect from vices and stuff like that. I don't know, but it's a mixture. It's more whatever. It's geared for that platform versus this is geared for this platform. That being said, I'm still going to continue to upload videos on YouTube. It's just TikTok is more of a daily thing. Plus, the growth there is crazy. I mean, it's just like, shoot. So I was gonna keep doing it because I'm reaching more people, and that's ultimately what this is about, is sharing my journey, because I'm so much happier just in general overall versus what I've been in the past. I mean, by a landslide, and that improves every day for a lot of different reasons. And I've got a lot of work to go still. I've got more inner healing to do, and et cetera, et cetera. It's just a great platform to share that message. And the rumor is that in a couple months before the end of the year, they're going to change it to where the organic reach is not as big as what it is now. So I might as well utilize it while I can for the purpose of trying to reach more people. That being said, I still love my YouTube people, and I'll always come on here and upload, because YouTube was where I began everything. And I think that YouTube is definitively more of like, it's not going anywhere. Like TikTok, I think, for now it's fucking strong as shit, but who knows? It may disappear at some point. They may all disappear at some point, but I just feel like YouTube is kind of like Google. Like, where the fuck is YouTube gonna go? It's always gonna be here. And it's where I started, so I have a lot of history with YouTube, and a lot of people that have been watching my stuff and seen the growth take place, and I want to continue to document it. I mean, YouTube is essentially a journal for me. It was in the beginning and still is. And I tell people, like, it's a good way to hold yourself accountable. Even if you don't upload videos on YouTube or TikTok, you can still take videos and talk to yourself and talk about what you're doing and hold yourself accountable to yourself, and just leave it in the gallery of your phone. But uploading on putting it on a platform is the next step of, in a sense, holding yourself accountable. It doesn't mean that you can't regress. As I've shown in the past, I regressed, but I was never as far as I am now, so there has been a slow trajectory, upwards, and it's all been learning and it's all been growth. But I think that if I didn't have the YouTube accountability, the journal aspect, I may have never recovered, you know what I mean? Because I think that, like, when I went down a path of like, oh shit, I'm fucking up again, in the back of my mind, I knew that I would come back, because I was tracking it, and like this was a form of accountability, and I needed to get back on my game, etc. And it's I think it's always been very helpful in that way. And plus, it's cool, it's like you leave a piece of yourself on this plane of existence for whenever I move on to the next plane of existence. I'll always have this. There'll always be this for my niece and nephews to look at when they grow older, and family, friends, whoever, and may even help people. Fucking shit, I might help people that are 100 years down the road trying to beat their vices. So it's cool to share the journey and put the stuff out there. So I'm sorry, I'm starting to rant here, but I'll let you guys get back to your day. Just wanted to do a quick little update, and until next time, be kind to people and love yourself first and foremost.
Just you wait in Reagan, just you wait. You'll be sorry, but your tears will be too late. Just you wait in Reagan.